fabulous idea for the vanilla Luzons. So delicious. Oh hey, hi, it's me, Wilma Fingerdoo, and I am fully untucked. I hope you are too. So let's get to it. Well, this is the first episode of All Stars 5 Untucked, and I have to say that Mariah Paris Balenciaga, Shea Coulee, Blair St. Clair, and Jujubee were super relieved to be safe. Who wouldn't? But I have to say, I was so surprised to hear Shea Coulee say that she had only had 10 lessons in pole dancing. Not because I thought she did well. I thought she did okay. She didn't do great, but she didn't fail. I mean, a fail would have been falling off the pole, I'm just saying. But what I found interesting was her picking something that she wasn't experienced at to do in a challenge. I'm amazed when queens do this. They do this a lot. And not just on Drag Race, but on other shows. Whenever you see, even like on a cooking competition or something, and they go, oh, have you made that before? No, I've never done it. What are you doing? Mind you, a lot of the time, those people win. I mean, sure, yeah, Shea got a pass on the new talent, but if she had refined her skills or done something she was more experienced at, she could have won. I'm just saying. There was this great moment as the girls settled into the Untucked Lounge sofa with their cocktails, where Blair told Jujubee how much of an inspiration she was, that the first season of RuPaul's Drag Race was her season that Blair had watched, and that now she's competing with her on the show. Like, it was just surreal to her. And then Shea Coulee told Mariah Paris Balenciaga how impactful her entrance into the workroom was on her season, with her snatched back ponytail and her legs that don't quit. It was very, very lovely to see the queens gush, because we don't often get to see them be fans of each other. And that's the thing that's interesting about RuPaul's Drag Race now. 12 years. There are kids that have grown up watching it. So they are very invested. They know exactly who everyone is. And these queens are celebrities to them. So there's really that moment where you watch the generations connect, and you see the influence and the growth. It's just very touching. Here's to everyone. Well done, I'm just saying. And then the queens got to it. They started discussing who they thought would be in the bottom, and they all agreed that they thought Angina should be in the bottom, because all she had done during her number was really just dance. A queen that did surprise them all, though, was Derek Barry. Now, I am going to say that Derek surprised them, not impressed them. I think they were surprised because they thought maybe Derek would just do a Britney thing, a sure thing that would certainly guarantee him at least a pass for the week. But no. Shea Coulee thought that Mayhem Miller was the weakest of the weekend. Well, nobody seemed to disagree with her. And then the queens all started to discuss voting. They had to vote. How would they vote? Are they going to play fair? Are they going to be mean? They all seem to have this idea that right now they could afford to play fair. But nobody's safe when the numbers start to drop. Especially where that Blair St. Clair is concerned. She looks like she'd go in deep, saying. Another thing the queens seemed to agree on was how nice Ms. Cracker's butt was out of drag. See what a little junk in your trunk will do? Saying. And of course, everyone was gagged over India Farah's performance. They didn't expect anything from her. Mostly because they didn't remember who she was. But that, of course, brought up that whole Derek and India feud and what was going on there. And I have to say, the most surprising thing of that conversation was Shea Coulee teaching us all how to block somebody who's already blocked us. Seriously. There's a reason that she's the queen of the petty palace, I'm just saying. And then the rest of the queens entered the Untucked Lounge. Alexis Mateo was relieved to have done so well, because she's older now. She's a little thicker than she used to be, competing with these younger queens. And Michelle Visage still liked what she did in spite of her shoes. Seriously. I wasn't surprised that Derek Barry didn't feel that she should be in the bottom, but what did surprise me was how many other queens agreed with her. I'm just saying. I mean, clearly, the editing does have a lot to do with how people look on the show, because I wasn't impressed, I'm just saying. And then the queens were ushered off to vote and to return to the main stage. No visit from Ricky Martin, but in his defense, I don't think he would have gotten out of there alive. Certainly not without pants. I'm just saying. And of course, now we all know that India Farah had to lip sync against Evie Oddly and lost. And that the queen all the other queens voted out was Derek Barry. Well, except for Derek and Jujubee. As Derek was packing up, it was lovely to see that he got a video message from Nebraska and Nick, but it was so fast. I mean, was RuPaul calling them as Derek was walking off the stage? And he's like, okay, bye. Can you send her a video message? She looks depressed. It just was a little interesting. I'm wondering if they'll do that for everybody. But either way, it was sad to see Derek go. It's sad to see any of these queens go, because as I always say, a competition isn't the best environment for everybody. It's not made for everybody. Some people do very well in a competition and fail at life. Other people, successful in life, fail in a competition. And we've got 9 more girls to get through before this is all said and done. I mean, if we don't watch the show expecting some of our favorites to go home, then we're just setting ourselves up for disappointment, I'm just saying. Speaking of, well, we've got another episode next week. We'll be Untucked again. Who do you think is on the bubble? I mean, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. It really all depends on not just what the challenges are, but how they expose each of the queens' weaknesses. So it'll be interesting. I'm hoping that there are a couple of new challenges that stir it up. Just because I think some of these queens kind of come in prepared, and I think it helps to have the rug pulled out from under you once or twice. It just keeps you on your toes. Do you hear what I'm saying? So that's it for this week's episode. Remain untucked as long as you can. Personally, I'm in quarantine. I don't tuck anymore. I don't even know how. I forgot. But that's because I'm mostly sitting all day. Just saying. So, until next week, miss me. Mwah. Seriously, Jorge. First Untucked is always so uneventful. I'm just saying.